Welcome to Beyond the Closing Table with Setco Services. In this podcast, we delve into the world of real estate and explore what happens beyond the closing table. Join us for insightful discussions and expert interviews that will change the way you see real estate transactions. Welcome to Beyond the Closing Table. I'm George Brandon Jr., sponsored by Setco Services. Are we good now, Abigail? Awesome. All right. Brian Clowdus?
Clowdus.
All right.
Like cloud with us.
See? I messed up right out of the gate.
I know, right? We can only go up from here.
Okay, there we go. So
how can you not know my last name?
Well, I don't know. I was contemplating the whole way here which one it was. So, now just get corrected on it.
So we can move. I'll get over it, I think.
So the one thing I do write down, Brian, is because everybody, you go Christie's or, whatever. They're all like one words with these companies. So it's
correct.
Christie's International Real Estate Emerald Coast.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you just go with Christie's with clients?
I just say Christie's.
All right. Let's find out how Brian got to the Emerald Coast. How about that? Where'd you come from? Where'd you grow up?
So born and raised in Alabama, but I grew up coming to PCB. So from before I could walk,
I could hear a little Alabama in there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think that was Boston.
Alabama, Southern Boston. You know what I mean? Like Alabama through and through. So if you live in Alabama, you come to PCB for vacation.
Of course. That's what you do on spring break, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, me and my family have always come here. So it's always been very near and dear to my heart. And I thought I would always retire here, but I actually moved here in 2020 when I think half of the country moved here.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like, Florida doesn't seem to be going nuts. I was like, maybe COVID's a good time to get down
here. They're being
here.
fairly sensible about this stupid situation,
exactly.
Right? Well,
so
Alabama wasn't bad.
No, but I'm born and raised in Alabama, but I've pretty much lived everywhere.
Well, go back. I want to hear. Where'd you grow up in Alabama?
So Northeast Alabama, outside of Gadsden.
Okay.
Born and raised there, but then I left after graduation. I have a background in arts, so I was an actor, director, producer. So I went from Alabama to Massachusetts for school, then did the New York
There is
thing.
Boston affiliation.
There is, you know what I mean? I was up there.
And then that far off.
You were not that far off. That's what you were sensing. You're like, he's been in Boston a little bit.
I can tell it.
I can hear
the
just a little bit of it.
blended accent, right?
Totally. I spent, a good chunk of my life in the Northeast. I lived in New York. I was a working actor. Then I went to South Carolina for grad school, got my master's.
What'd you do? So what were you in school in Massachusetts? New York?
Yeah. Undergrad was in acting in Massachusetts, Amherst College. And then I moved to New York as a working actor, toured the country, traveled internationally as an actor.
You can't just breeze over that. It's like, I just traveled the country as an actor. I got to have a follow-up there or wouldn't be a good host.
So I was
what were you doing? Give me a little specifics.
Musical theater guy. So singer, dancer, actor, did Broadway national tours, worked all over the country as an actor, worked for Tokyo Disney for a year. So I lived in Japan and sang with Tokyo Disney, worked on a cruise ship as a singer, got to tour all the Caribbean, Panama Canal, Alaska. I mean, it feels like almost like a different life, but that was what I did for years.
Okay. So I just sorry, I keep going back.
Right.
You were doing theater type acting.
Correct.
Okay. And then
never did a lot of film and TV. It was really theater was my love.
Okay.
And then I decided I wanted to go back to grad school, got my master's in theater, and then I really began directing and producing. It's kind of the natural progression as an actor. You start acting, then you begin directing and producing. So then I began directing and producing all over the country. I had a company that traveled around, and I did that really up until COVID. And COVID really changed the whole just the whole art scene. But before that, I was in Atlanta. So I kind of based myself in Atlanta, but I traveled everywhere.
Were you producing your own stuff or other people's stuff? Like what?
Both. So my
somewhat naive in that wheelhouse.
Yeah. So my whole brand was basically creating theatrical experiences that were accessible to everyone.
Okay.
So I would produce theater outside of theater spaces. So an example would be I would do a production of Sound of Music, but I would do it in the middle of the mountains, and Maria would literally be running up the hills, singing The Hills Were Alive, and it became this this thing that, hey, this guy's producing theater in the spaces it's meant to be performed in, as opposed to like sticking it in a box, you know? And I did that for, almost 10 years. And I still have my production company, but the whole theater industry and just the whole world went nuts during COVID. And
you were in Atlanta then?
I was in Atlanta. Okay. And it just sort of became a place that I didn't recognize anymore. And
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is, you know. And I think people during COVID went absolutely bananas. You know, I said it sort of like it determined who is crazy and who is like more normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I guess I'm more normal. You know what I mean? In all of this. So
welcome to Florida.
Exactly. No, 100%, you know.
And everybody else thinks we're the weird ones.
And I mean, I was just like, I want to be with like the happy, sane people. You know what I mean? So
we have sunshine and beautiful water. And, it's kind of nice.
It is nice. So it was a turning point for me. And I just feel like the industry, it just kind of became something that I didn't recognize anymore, you know?
Could you even do shows? I mean, you were in Atlanta, you had your production company, COVID hit.
During COVID that year, I mean, everything was shut down, you know? And also, I went through a pretty public cancellation. You know, it was during that time as well. If you weren't what I call kind of bending the knee to like the woke mob, you were brutally canceled. So
really,
yeah, I went through like a very intense like public cancellation. And that's what really pushed me kind of into politics. You know, I have run for office and I really became like an outspoken Republican. And that's like a big no-no in the arts scene. And for me...
Why is that? It's so weird to me.
It is very, very strange. And it's, I don't know, before COVID, nobody even cared about politics. Like, I didn't even care about politics till after COVID. You know what I mean? But I feel like it was like you sort of had to pick one or two sides. But I don't know. I mean, I think... You know, not to get too political, but I think like Trump just broke people. I mean, he just like broke people, you know?
Yeah. Derangements.
Yeah. I mean, it truly is a derangement. And I'm a lot less political now than I was during like 2020 and all of that. For me, it's just like, I think there's nuts on both sides of the aisle.
Agreed.
I mean, and for me, I'm like, you know what? Don't let your entire identity and sort of like, you know, ideology be surrounded by like people that, I mean, I can't control politicians. You know what I mean? We can vote for people, but at the end of the day, you can control your sphere. You know what I mean? So at this point in my life, yes, I still vote. Yes, I have my beliefs, but I'm more concerned about like my little sphere of happiness because that's what you really can control, period.
Welcome to the strongly Republican Walton County. So you said you got canceled.
Yes.
Is that more like in your industry?
100%. I mean, I was at the height of my career. I was famous in theater. Like I was this like very well-known theater producer. I was, you know, on the sort of journey to even win like a regional Tony Award. You know, I mean, I was in like every major publication. And then when all this happened, I had a past employee who came after me, you know, claiming all these ridiculous things about me. And then when they found out that I was also a Republican, it validated everything. You know
so that's where I was going. Was that it? I mean, were you openly speaking out against everything?
I wasn't until then.
It was tagged?
That catalyst of like someone claiming I was this like bigot. That was my catalyst to just say, well, at this point, I don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean? So that's when I became more honest. And then I had so many people in the industry sort of like flocking to me, like, thank you for, you know, because they always want you to speak your truth, you know? And I was like, well, this is...
Until they don't agree with it.
You know? And I mean, I think we've swung a little bit more center now. I mean, and again, I think there are nuts on every side of the aisle. And I would honestly say I probably lean more libertarian. I mean, my whole thing is like, I just don't want the government involved in my life, you know? And I don't want to pay taxes. It really just boils down to that. I mean, honestly, it's like, I don't want to pay taxes for a bunch of crap. Yeah. Like, I think I'd have done good in the Wild West days. You didn't have roads you have to pay for. And if people pissed you off, you just shot them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no jail system. You just shoot them.
She said she liked you and we would get along great. And I'm starting to see why.
I mean, like, give me a gun, give me a wagon, and we're going to be good to go.
Kindred spirits here. Well, I think everybody doesn't want to pay taxes. And when you start hearing the stuff of current day, that's going on out there and the fraud, it's just kind of baffling. That
it's insane,
the abuse. But I'm sorry you got canceled out of your industry.
I'm not.
It sounds like you're not.
I'm not.
No regrets.
Zero regrets. And for
Amazing.
me, I don't know. I'm a firm believer that everything in your life happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, like, rejection is the Lord's protection. I also think that when things in your life happen that seem horrific, it's a pivot moment in your life. And for me, that's when I really got to thinking about perhaps real estate would be an interesting new pathway for me. So I look back at sort of like the past, 5 years of my life, and had this not happened, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that, So
when did you actually move? Did you move here?
I moved here in 2020.
Okay.
And then
there's a significant Atlanta pop. I mean, you were in Atlanta?
Correct.
Living?
Outside of Atlanta.
Okay.
I was in Noonan, Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm a country boy. So, and even now, I don't live on 30A. I have a house in Southport and I'm renovating a house in Chipley. So, I'm a redneck at heart,
We keep making these synergies together. I grew up outside of Memphis.
Oh, wow.
I went to Ole Miss.
So country boy too.
Yes. Yeah. I try and act sophisticated here when I sit in 30A, but it does. Most people can read my bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah. I literally call myself a bougie redneck.
Okay.
I can roll with, and I love fabulous things.
Yeah.
But I want to be in the country. I want space. I want acreage. I don't really want to be surrounded by people. You know what I mean?
But you're specializing in luxury real estate, and then you're living in Southport right now?
Yes.
Okay. For those of you listening, that's, not exactly a stone's throw away, but not too far, but Chipley.
Yeah. Chipley's my little passion project.
Okay. Did you buy some land?
I did, and a 1941 farmhouse.
Love it.
I love historic restoration, but I got 8 acres in Chipley with this little historic farmhouse, and I have my own lake as well. And that's my little passion, side project. I love renovation. But Southport is great because I would say my business is really split between the east end of PCB and 30A. So it kind of puts me in this position where I can kind of go in either direction.
Yeah.
If I lived on the east end of PCB, 30A would be so much further and vice versa,
Well, so let's get into that. You moved here in 2020 and kind of grew up vacationing in Panama City Beach.
Yes.
So you're familiar with that area. At what point did you kind of gravitate to everybody wants to be in South Walton?
Correct.
Because of the dollar volume. So, but not everybody can do that. And there's, we're spread out across the Panhandle.
Yep.
So, there's opportunities for sure in all those markets. What brought you to the more luxury market?
So when I got my real estate license, I knew day one, if I was going to do this, I was going to be in luxury. Okay. I just knew that. And everybody said, well, you can't start in luxury. And my question was well, why can't you? And for me, if I'm going to put the same amount of effort into selling a property, I can sell $100,000 property or I can sell $1 million property. The effort is the same.
You're absolutely right about
that. But the payout is, it's tenfold.
Sometimes 100,000 is even more.
Exactly. It is.
Depending on certain situations.
100%.
My joke is, we can close a $10 million house down the street here and it's a breeze because the clients are, I'd say, more sophisticated, but potentially more savvy about the market and business in general. And then we've got a trailer somewhere that's got a bunch of hair on it, and it takes us 50 hours to close
it's so
for $50,000. Yeah.
And also, really rich people, they're busy. They're tell me what, they're not even reading it. You know what I mean? But that's why I think it's so important they trust their realtor.
You are right.
Because they're hey, when they know what they want, and they're ready to sign and they're ready to move. And for me, I've always been the same way. If I want something, I know every property I've ever purchased, I walked on the land and I said, this is it, let's go.
Yep.
So I really try to attract clients who make decisions like that as well. Because like you said, working with, and again, but I will sell anything to anyone. I want that to be very clear because my whole mindset is that luxury is a mindset. It's not a price tag. And you never know who knows who, and you never know what smaller opportunity will lead to a larger opportunity. But my whole brand is luxury. And that's the way you market yourself, the way you present yourself, and really what markets you put yourself into, period.
Yeah.
But I'll sell anything to anybody. Within, if there's hours in the day.
Got it. So where did you start?
So I started at Counts Real Estate Group, great local company, and they really are the king of Bay County. I mean, truly, and Counts has presence in 30A as well. So within my first year at Counts, I was their top producer in 1 year of production.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, I came in 2 years ago when everyone's just saying, oh, my gosh, this is the hardest market ever.
That's not accurate, but
but that's what a lot of agents are saying.
That's because they've been printing money for the last 2 years.
Correct. I think agents who started during COVID, I think it was a hard transition. For me, I think it was such a blessing to come into the industry last year because I didn't know any different.
It's an amazing way to look at it.
I was like, okay.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's like, how are you doing this? I was like, well, I'm just like hooking. You know what I mean? Like left and right working my corner. I'm literally a high-end prostitute, but with no STDs.
Yeah,
it's like the best of both
clean
worlds.
And healthy. I love it.
Exactly. So when I started my whole, I said, I'm going to do luxury. Everybody's like, you can't do it. But I also thought I had a kind of a different background. I had worked with, luxury clients before in my industry. And I looked also at kind of like the landscape of what was happening here. And I was thinking, okay, how can I take what I've done my entire life and put it directly into this new chapter? So, all of my branding is very theatrical. It's very storytelling driven because I don't really think we're selling houses. I think we're selling lifestyles. And I think we're selling this like idea of creating a cool story with your life. So for me, everything's been story driven. All of my marketing is very theatrical and it's very different than what's happening here. But my strategy from day one, because, when you become a realtor, everybody's like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. I think that's why so many fail, because you have 87 people telling you what you have to do. And you're just like, well, I just get overwhelmed and I'm not going to do anything, And I think the statistic is like 1 out of 10 make it their first 2 years. I mean, like 90% fail. Isn't that, that's staggering to me. So I said, okay, the one thing I know I can kill is open houses. I just know it. I went to open houses and I'm like, oh my God, these like people are sitting in these like high-end homes with like Sam's Waters and like not even a smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to kill it. So I reached out to
Sam's Waters. We need to give them some Setco water.
Yes, exactly. Put your dang label on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Something.
There you go. Something. Okay.
Something. So I said, okay, that's going to be my strategy. I'm just going to do one thing really well. And I reached out to every agent at Counts that had a listing over $1 million and asked to sit their open houses. And of course, they're all like, yes, please come do it. And my first deal, my first month was from an open house and it was $1.5 million in cash. And everybody's like, oh, just luck. And then after that, I just took off. It kind of lit this fire underneath me. And then I started producing these really high-end open houses. And now I get to do it at my personal listings. You know what I mean? So that was my strategy. It took off 1,000,000 miles an hour. And then this past year, all the like top luxury brokerages started reaching out to me. So I had offers. What?
Because you were crushing it.
Crushing it, I guess, and just very different,
I want to say something because you may or may not know this. Where'd you get the idea of sitting in open houses? Was it yours?
It was just one of the strategies of what people did. You know what I mean? And when I went to a couple of because when you first start, you're trying to like do everything. I went to a couple of open houses and I was just like struck by how little effort these like top agents were putting into these like multi-million-dollar listings. I was like, I don't know how mine are, it's a production.
Yeah.
A full spread. It feels very elevated.
Well, let's come back to that. But where I was going was, one, I think the agents have been here for a long time.
Yes.
Prior COVID. I'm going to say, let's say 16, 17 through COVID, through 22, he didn't really have to do open houses. So right. I think that it became a lost art. Sounds a little cliche.
Yes.
But I think there's some truth to that, especially in the luxury market.
Yep.
Because it was turning so fast, stuff selling crazy, you didn't have to.
You didn't need to.
And you surely didn't have to put on a show for it.
Yeah.
Now that's changed a lot. And it changed, I think, mid 22, kind of when you jumped in, where all of a sudden we didn't see any open houses.
Yeah.
Signs. You should go down 38 or whatever. Back beach or front beach, and you'd see them in any of our markets. You'd see open house signs.
Yeah.
Never saw them. And then all of a sudden,
they're everywhere.
Popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But, so I do think there's some credit to the lost art. But I've had, I would say you're the third kind of top tier agent, you being much younger to the business. But I have another one. That was a strategy that led to some very good success, and it's sitting in other people's open houses.
Correct.
Yeah. And I was just curious. I've heard of people do it, but not necessarily to the level of success that 3 other people have been on this podcast before to the same thing. Started out green, and that's how they had clientele and met. So why do you think, are the other agents just so busy or just lazy or what?
I think that for some reason, I think a lot of top agents think open houses are like beneath them, and it's a waste of their time. And I do think if you don't produce them well, they could be a waste of your time. I mean, I've been doing these for almost 2 years, and I've almost got this science to it of how to really do them successfully.
Let's talk about this part of you.
Yeah. I mean, and I literally I have got it down to a science, and also I don't know, I feel like there's all these rules and things that you're supposed to do. And I'm just I could care less, so for me, if there's a rule, I'm probably going to do the opposite.
Like rules
of
your coaching of how you're.
Well, open houses, I mean, the industry standard is open houses are Saturdays and Sundays from 1 to 4. Right. 1 to 4 is the least traffic for open houses. Open houses, this is my science after a couple of years of under the belt. So you're going to see peak times for open houses before lunch, after lunch, and then before dinner and after dinner. So 1 to 4 is kind of your dead time. Really, 11.
Is this a weekend or
any day?
Any day?
During travel season, weekends and weekdays are the exact same. So I really concentrate my open houses around spring break and summer. That's when I basically just live in them.
Okay.
So I mean, honestly, and it's a mobile office. I can sit in an office. You know who's going to walk into a real estate office?
No one anymore.
Nobody. But you know who's going to walk into a beautiful open house with a lot of foot traffic and 87 signs and balloons out front and a sandwich board with a handsome guy on it saying, "Come on in." I mean, it's just a different vibe. So I have found really peak time is 11 to 1.
Okay.
And then peak time is 4 to 6. The crazy thing is most people do houses from 1 to 4 when is the most dead time. People go to open houses when they're going to eat lunch. That's typically around 11, or when they're leaving lunch, 12 to 1, when they're going to dinner / leaving the beach, which is 4 to 6. Those are your peak engagement times for open houses. So I think just from a time alone, I think most people are sitting in open houses, the dead times, thinking, what a waste of time this is. I'm wasting time. But also, I don't know, I'm never wasting time because as a realtor, you've always got follow-ups to do. You've got content to create. So I look at it as my office hours.
Yeah, you're in the office, but
you're
with these things.
Got your laptop. I'm big on social, so I'm doing fun videos. But I mean, it takes me an hour to set up. I do a full-on spread. I have a bunch of signs and balloons. People come to open houses because of your signage and your balloons. Okay. I will die on a hill over this.
Okay.
You cannot put one sign that's crooked on one of those busted H stakes. You have to have, and you know what I mean?
I know
sad.
Exactly what you mean.
I'm well, they clearly care. I mean, I put out a ton of signs. I mean, typically 10 to 15 directional signs. Every sign has a Mylar balloon. Not a cheap latex balloon, a Mylar balloon, and mine is known as the shiny red hearts. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
And it's a hair cheesy, but also I don't care what I got to do to get them there, but it feels cohesive, it ties in, and it's that shiny balloon. It sort of piques people's interest. Your goal of signage is to get people to your open house. And I will tell you, 98.9% of people that step into my open house, they look at the spread. I will take over an entire island in the kitchen it's just full of food, full of drinks. I have branded wine glasses. I have branded koozies. I have branded cocktail napkins. I mean, it is a very elevated experience. They step in and they go, wow, I have never seen a spread like this. It's the first thing they say. And from that second, they trust me and they think that I know what I'm doing and I'm going to take care of them.
Yeah.
And I did that pretty much from day one. So those open houses I sat, they just assumed they were my listings. They just assumed I was this agent who had been killing it for years.
Yeah. And that's where I guess, did you take the same approach when you did other people's open houses?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I did. I mean,
if
feel
like that's such a huge lost opportunity for the other agent. Great for you that you did it.
Yeah.
But there's literally multiple very, very successful agents that have used that strategy. And
yes.
I've never really asked it.
You have to act like you own the joint. I mean, I think so many people are like, I don't know. I mean, I think confidence is so key in any type of sales business. And the second a buyer sniffs that you're not confident, why would they want to work with you?
Sure.
You know? And I say you've got to fake it till you make it. I mean, those first open houses, they were asking me questions. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about, but I was like, I would just make it up. I wouldn't even blink twice. They'd ask me the age of something, I'd just tell them and we'd keep going.
This is where I tie in the acting career.
Correct. I mean, literally. I mean, there are a lot of amazing people who have transitioned from theater to real estate. I mean, Ryan Serhant, he was an actor in theater and he's like major now, you know? So I just think, honestly, the most useful skill in sales is confidence.
Agreed.
And fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And then if you've got to like change something, like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I messed up the age on this roof. It's actually this. You know, they're like, okay, they don't care, you know? Well, but if you're like, they're going to be like, oh gosh, this guy's a train wreck.
So you clearly kind of had the sales part down. Where did you just learn the technical aspect of it, the contracts and all that? Because it led you to, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, brokerages train you to a certain extent, but also I think you learn by doing. I didn't worry about having to do a contract until I had one in front of me.
Good point.
I mean, everybody's like, I've got to take contracts class. Like, no, you don't. You just need to go get a contract.
Yeah.
And then there is somebody at your brokerage who will hold your hand. And I had a couple of like great people at my first brokerage. And I could just call them and say, hey, can you hold my hand? And I mean, it's a template. Once you know how to do something once, and of course, there's always going to be questions that come up, but I'm just going to ask people, but I think you learn this stuff by doing it. And also, I'm not afraid to make mistakes. You make a mistake, you learn from it, you apologize, and you move on. I think so many people are paralyzed with fear. I really am pretty fearless.
Yeah, well, that's
I don't care,
it's a confident thing. Yeah. All right. So you screw up on one thing, all right.
Just don't do it over and over,
yeah, exactly. I agree. All right. So you've taken the open houses to another level. Give me you got the spread, you got the balloons, any other distinct things you do?
I'm very engaged. I don't like the term like sitting at open houses. I mean, I'm on my feet. I also look like $1 million. I'm groomed well. I'm dressed well. The second someone comes in, I greet them. I ask them if they would like something to drink. And I don't put that hard sell on them. I don't ask them to leave their contact information with me. I just get to know them. I really look at that. First interaction with a client is a first date. I don't want to hop in the sack with them immediately unless they're like super hot. Then I might think about it. Okay. Lock that door,
Keep it open a little bit, right?
Just, for like a little like thrill of it. But I mean, I think you're getting to know them, and I'm good at like reading people. I can tell if there is potential there almost immediately, just by the way they interact with me. They might be a looky-loo. I'll give them a drink and say, hey, y'all wander around. I'm here if you need me. But if they come in and they're super engaged, I say, I'd love to take y'all on a tour. And I just walk them around the house and ask them a few questions and just listen to them talk. People love to talk about themselves. I don't really talk about myself. I talk about them and get to know them. And then at the end of it, 9 times out of 10, if it's a really strong potential lead, they'll say, hey, can I leave my information with you? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me get my book. Like, it's not something I'm even like prepared to like take everybody's info.
So you don't collect at first?
I don't. I do not.
Do you ever at open houses?
If there is potential engagement, if they offer theirs up to me, Or if at the end I feel like I've connected with them enough, I will say, hey, I'd love to send y'all some extra properties. You want me to send y'all some stuff and leave your number with me? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes. Or they're like, and I was like, well, here, just take my card anytime you want. I just feel like we're in a time where people don't like that hard sales. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It makes me run for the hills.
I agree.
Like if I walk in a store and they follow me around, I'm like deuces,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if they think I'm shoplifting or I'm like, but I do not want that. Like, get away from me.
We're getting stalked.
Yeah.
So, all right, you were accounts, and then you clearly people notice what you were doing somehow, some way, and probably from numbers is usually how that gets discovered pretty quickly. You moved over to
Christie's.
Was that been a good transition?
It has been good. I mean, it's been fairly.
Was that right when they started, or was
no?
It...
So I transitioned to Christie's end of last year.
Okay. So wow,
it's fairly new for me.
Yeah.
And it was something I really had to think about. I don't have a bad thing to say about counts. They were so incredible to me. And it was very difficult to leave because I truly loved the people there. And they treated me like a star. And I mean, I like to be treated like a star. I'm just gonna admit it.
Yep.
I mean, it feels good to be valued somewhere. And it was where I started my career. So it was, I mean, there were tears shed, it was difficult to leave, but I also would rather leave on a high note, and not burn bridges than leave on a negative note. But I knew for me in my heart, if I wanted to step into the ultra luxury space, I needed to align myself with a brand that had those opportunities. Where it counts, maybe the top listings were 2 million, 2.5 million. At Christie's, I have the opportunity to sit in open houses 10 million plus.
Yeah.
So for me, it was truly just a strategic business move. I wanted to be part of a global brand. I wanted to have networking opportunities across the country. And I would say, in our region, the top three are Compass, Sotheby's, and Christie's. I had offers from all three brokerages. So for me, I really had to kind of weigh everything. And it was, I was like, there were pros and cons to everyone. And I truly believe there is not a perfect brokerage. I just don't think there is.
Doesn't exist.
There's not a perfect company, period.
Not a perfect real estate agent either.
There's not. You know what I mean? I'm pretty close.
Or title company. All right.
Well, hey, if we're going to put perfect...
That was just a layup.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we're not perfect, but we're not too far away.
Okay. I fully expected that response.
Exactly. But I don't know. So for me, when I met with all three brokerages, it was important to me. I felt like I could be completely myself.
Yep.
Yes, I'm luxury, but I'm also off cuff. I'm irreverent. I'm fun. I didn't want to feel like I couldn't be myself anywhere. And I said, I'm not changing my marketing, period. I'm not changing what I'm doing. I look at this as a brand alignment. And
why would you? You've seen the success.
Yeah. I think I think some luxury agents can feel kind of like stuffy. And I think a lot of them are looking at me like, who's this guy think he is? You know what I mean? Which I love. You know what I mean? Like, I just love that.
Just fuel for the fire.
Just ruffle there. And I was like, I'm sorry, y'all are boring. Yeah. I just think you've got to have fun and excitement involved in your business. And I met with Bo Blankenship, and he thought I was a hoot. And there was something to be said because, I think everybody has this sort of, Bo, I mean, he is such a powerhouse here and he's, very serious, but he was so sweet and kind, and he totally got me. And I was like, okay, Bo gets me. He wants me here. And they really pursued me, and they gave me an offer I could not resist.
Good.
So I made the transition, and I thought there was, I feel like Christie's is kind of like the Bad Boys. You know what I mean? I just think there's kind of like a rock star vibe about them. The red signs are so splashy, so in your face. I feel like they're disruptors in the market. So I kind of like hanging out with the naughty people.
You gravitated to that.
Yeah, I gravitated to the naughty people,
So, how did you get into the teaching part of it? Because you did that before you made the move to Christie's, right?
Well, yes. So I love education, very passionate about it. My whole thing when I started my first year is I'm going to be sitting open houses or I'm going to be sitting in the classroom because I love learning. Like I could sort of be like a full-time nerdy student. You know what I mean? Like I loved my real estate course. I just was like so fun to be in the classroom again. And you get all these free educational opportunities that you pay your association. So I just started learning all of these different things in the classroom. And as you can imagine, I'm an active participant in the classroom. I'm not a wallflower.
You might be the only person I've ever had in here said I love my real estate class.
Oh my God. I was like, I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I had my like flashcards and all my like highlighters. I would get there early with my coffee. Like I'm like a nerd. You know what I mean?
I have probably 50 realtors in here, top tier. I love my real estate class.
I was like, I woke up like so excited to go to school every day. It was like,
that's amazing.
It was just, I was like, oh my gosh.
Most people, it's a means and end of just getting your license, you know,
but I don't know. I think the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And it kind of lights this fire on you to like, just sort of like devour knowledge. So, you know, taking all these classes, and the education director comes up to me and she was like, have you ever thought about teaching? And I was like, oh, well, you know, I haven't been doing this long enough. She was like, I just think with your theater background and kind of your energy, you should think about teaching. So I was like, okay, like, why not? I say yes to everything. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. So then I didn't realize what I was signing up for, but it's...
Were you doing this through like CPAR or E-CAR?
E-CAR.
You do it through E-CAR?
So yeah, but if you get pinged to teach, you have to go through this like it is stringent. This 2-day intensive workshop just to basically gruel you down to see if you want to be a teacher. That first day I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this. I mean, it was like
a hazing opportunity.
Literally a hazing, but except without the hot frat guys. You know what I mean? So like I was really at a disadvantage.
Fair enough. Got it. Okay. So you made it through the hazing without the guys.
And the second day I was like, okay, I guess I can do this. And then you have to get multiple letters of recommendation. And I had to do a resume. And I was like, I haven't had a resume in 20 years. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And so then once you pass that, you have to go to the state convention in Orlando and audition in front of like this massive room of people.
Is this for hours credits?
Yeah, well, for each course. So I had to audition. So my 2 courses, they're like state approved courses, luxury real estate and social media.
Do they give you the...
They give you, you have to follow their curriculum.
Got it. So in our world, we can write them. We have to do the same thing, but I didn't think y'all had to do that far, I guess.
So it's
good to know.
If I wanted to do my own course, I could, but then you have to create it and go through their standards and basically get them to approve your course. Then my course could be taught by multiple teachers.
Okay.
Maybe at one day, just that part sounds a little bit exhausting.
Yeah, it is. No, it's painstaking.
So went through the audition process, passed everything, and then I just taught my first class yesterday, which is great.
Oh, so this is super new.
Super new. Yesterday was my first class.
What was your class?
Luxury real estate.
Okay.
It's called Champagne Wishes and Caviar Dreams.
Okay. Of course
I mean, the title's a little bit cheesy. You know what I mean? But it's kind of fun.
You know, it's a setup. I like it. So in summary, what does a luxury real estate course entail?
I mean, everything from defining luxury real estate to the level of service you offer, even to like appearance. I mean, it really digs in. And there was a lot in the course I agree with, but I told them straight up, I was like, there's some things I completely disagree with in this course. And I said, also, if you just took the word luxury out of this course and just said how to operate as a realtor, I think it really is applicable to every part of your business. I think it's like how to basically go the extra mile as a realtor and what it really means to be in the luxury space.
Okay.
And a lot of it's, I mean, black and white, a lot of it's about your appearance. And not just how you look, how you present yourself.
First impressions.
100%. You know, and I think
that's what open house is.
100%. And I don't think you have to look like, you know, a supermodel. I think everybody can be hot.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like polishing yourself
you gotta make
up,
the effort.
dressing yourself the way, and it's like that self-awareness key. I mean, I think any age, any body type can be hot. I truly do. And I think so much of that is about confidence and knowing yourself.
Okay. I love it. So it's more, I mean, you could have tagged the luxury stigma on it. I know stigma is not the right word, but almost selling yourself coaching people up, how to do real estate.
And giving a level of service. And my whole mentality, and again, I wrote this on the board, I said luxury is a mindset, not a price tag. You should be treating all of your clients like this.
Did you say that when you went and got approved? Like, I don't agree with half the course.
No, you definitely can't say that. But, I've sat in enough classrooms of these Florida realtors or faculty members to be like, hey, this is what Florida says. This is my personal opinion. And that's what I said. This is my personal opinion. Y'all are going to have personal opinions about my opinions and about this material, but my goal is to at least get you thinking,
Now, do you have to teach those classes just through eCar? Or
I can teach it anywhere in the state of Florida.
You're approved? Okay.
And that's my
cool.
That's my goal is to, and there's not a lot of money in it, but it was really fun. It also allowed me to connect with a lot of agents. And then I think I get to travel the state of Florida. They pay for your travel. I get to connect with people in South Florida, different markets. I just think it's an opportunity that opens up doors. And, I taught a lot in grad school. That was part of our programs. We had to teach undergrads. And when you have to teach people stuff, it sort of like codifies your own thoughts in a really unique way. So I was just like, I was on such a high yesterday after teaching my class. It was just so fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't imagine you at your level that you have attained and very quickly would have gotten into the teaching part for the money.
No.
But it's also giving back. You're coaching up a new agent that, you may work with one day.
Yes.
Or be on the other side of a deal
one
day or bring you a deal.
And I don't know, for me, don't get me wrong, I enjoy money. I like what money provides, but money has never been the thing that fuels me. Personal success is what fuels me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, knowing I've accomplished my personal goals, I always think money is like a secondary sort of ripple effect of that. You need you need a certain amount of money, but
of course,
I don't know. I feel like achieving these unachievable goals and like accomplishing things that other people say are impossible, that fuels me more than anything.
Yeah, it's typically not people's primary driver.
Yeah.
Well, like you should talk about fuel you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he can't do that.
Right.
Well, like Kendra
I watched
Spears.
them.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'll show you. Come on, get some.
You.
So you were, your social media game is, from what I understand, pretty awesome. I did see a little bit, and there seems to be some badass cars in there. So I know you don't know this, but I'm a huge car guy.
Oh, do you have like fabulous ones?
Well, I have a few.
Okay. Do I get to come get a tour?
Come on.
Yeah.
I have Porsches.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Well, I need to feature
and a big old redneck Old Miss truck.
Oh my gosh, I adore you.
Yeah, I rebuilt a 1979 Scout and did it in all Ole Miss.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So, so do you have an affinity for cars?
So I have an affinity for selling lifestyles.
There you go. Okay.
And
fair enough.
I think, as you'll know, like I have pretty much a different car in all of my videos.
Yeah, they're sweet.
It's pairing up a car that matches the property or lifestyle I am selling. And I don't do anything small. So when I announced I was moving to Christie's, it was in a red G-Wagon. It just was, because their color is red. And I think it's like anything to get people's eyes on you or eyes on the listing, because like, what car is he going to drive next,
Yeah.
But I love cars. I love lifestyle. I love anything that ties into a larger than life branding moment.
I love it.
I
love the fact you use cars. That's like boom. But
how do you get places?
Well, exactly. To sell.
It's like you got to drive to that house and something.
The beautiful creature that I happen to be married to has a Ruby Star Red 911. So if you ever need a mauve type pink Porsche that really stands out,
I need all of these cars.
Okay.
Can I just get an inventory of everything you have? Well, because a lot of these are people, like friends I have that'll just and then like people love to see their cars in videos. Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, look at this like rock star video I've got of like my car featured,
Yeah, I'm actually shy about whose it is, but now that I just sit here and talked about it on the podcast, but yeah, anytime.
I love it. Yeah, I need like a lookbook of all your cars.
Okay,
we'll go through all of them.
You got it. I have a 1957 pink Thunderbird in my warehouse.
Oh, fabulous.
It is not mine, but you could use it. It actually, my daughter lifted it up. She hadn't seen it before.
Uh-huh.
Dad, what is this? It's like Barbie.
Oh, fun.
Bam. but it's really beautiful. So you were recently had a HGTV. How did that come about?
Okay, so it's been a crazy year, right? So last March, I had a casting director reach out to me via Instagram. His name was Paul Head. And the name alone, I was like, something might be up here. You know what I mean? I was like, what is he casting? But I was like, you know what? I mean, let's be open. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing OnlyFans these days. I was like, I look pretty good these days. Body's decent. You know what I mean? I was like, maybe that's...
Backup plan if the real estate doesn't work out.
I mean, some of these people are making millions a month.
I'm well aware.
You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
Friend of a friend. No involvement, but...
I mean... But
well aware where some of the money is.
Once you do it, it's like you're
not going back.
Yeah. I wasn't.
It's hard to transition into luxury real estate. After that.
You know what I mean? There's probably
at least in the South.
There's probably a market for it.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Miami.
So got a message from him on Instagram, and I was like, I'm always suspect of anything like that. But then right after that, followed up an email. Said, hey, we're casting for a brand new HGTV show. The whole concept is kind of like Beachfront Bargain, but it's brand new concept. It's edgier. It's sexier. It's like a little more irreverent. Would you be interested in auditioning? And I'm like, well, absolutely. So I got on the phone with him. Such a nice guy, like so excited. He was like, we've seen your social media. We think you would be a great person for the show.
So that's how they found you?
That's how they found me on Instagram.
Okay. Did you do any TV or anything prior?
Never done TV. Really, it's just
so
been
it wasn't a
theater.
Referral from the business or anything?
Well, they all hate me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this was definitely not a referral from... It literally...
Good for you, brother.
It was just the best.
Yeah.
Just felt...
That's why Eli Manning there on my podcast.
Literally. Just like, you know what? Suck it. God, it felt. I mean, honestly, the best revenge is a life well lived.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is.
Good
I mean, I'd still run over a couple of them. You know what I mean? If I could get away with it.
Yeah.
Wild West days.
In a red G-Wagon.
Bam! Wouldn't even see that blood.
All right.
Yeah, they reached out, asked me to audition. And again, pretty intense process. I had to do like a formal like Zoom audition that's like with good lighting, and they edit it together. Then they present it to the producers of HGTV. And then after that, they asked me to choose a couple of clients I've worked with or I'm about to work with. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have the perfect pair. Like, because just some of those clients you just like click with. We just had fun, you know? And so they went through the same process and they basically cast us in the show. We filmed in July and then we just aired in January.
Okay. So you said it was the theme was...
So the name of the show is Cheap Ass Beach Houses.
Okay.
I mean, the name alone.
Where does that exist here?
I know. Well, the crazy
compared to other markets.
The crazy thing is like their condo was $650,000. So like, I mean, when we didn't know the name of the show either, but they kept.
So they didn't tell you that it's a cheap ass beach house?
We didn't know till it basically was announced.
Okay.
But during the filming process, they kept saying, oh, can you say cheap? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say cheap. You know what I mean? Clearly. And they're like, but just say it for us. So I was like, okay. Now in retrospect, that's why. Because also, I don't think clients would be, like my clients would have probably said no.
Yeah.
They were like,
cheap.
Like he's a doctor. He's a doctor. This is like his little condo investment property. He's like, $650 is not, you think of cheap, that's like 150 or, it's not the Fontainebleau.
Well,
inexpensive.
Maybe bargain.
Yeah, but they just wanted to do something in your face.
Okay.
And it, ratings have been good. I mean, it definitely got eyes. Just the name alone had a lot of pushback. People are like, how dare you use the word ass in the show? So they used to say like on the trailer, cheap ass, but they had to take ass up because there was so much throwback. But I think all that's good.
Really?
You know what I mean? Insane, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess this. Any PR is good PR, something like that.
100%.
So they pulled the ass out of the...
Yes. And you say cheap beach houses. So love it, right? But it's been great. We aired, in January, show's still going. And I had a conversation this past week. So there potentially could be more. So I have a publicist now. Like this is how bougie is that?
Really? You're going to write a book? I mean...
No. But I mean, when you start dealing with like this TV stuff, I think it is important to have someone who kind of has your best interests at heart, is looking at things. But there could potentially be something I can't say a lot, but that would be focused on me that could be like a game changer for my life. So
good for you, man. That's
awesome.
Crossed.
So we'll see.
But have you seen, your direct business, what you're doing today? Have you seen anything from the show?
So when the show happened, it's so crazy. I had so many clients texting me saying, oh my gosh, we saw it. And the great thing is it kind of re-engaged a lot of clients that maybe I hadn't heard from in a hot second. And they're like, oh my gosh, we just saw you on the show. So from that standpoint, all of my like people I've met over the past 2 years, it re-engaged them. And it also just gave me something to like kind of talk about and, post on social media as well.
So I was going to ask, do they let you?
They do. But
reuse it? Or?
Oh yeah, we can go to town. But up until it was announced, we couldn't we could not say anything. We signed like very heavy NDAs, because, and I was like, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize, but they just don't want it getting out. They don't want, it's just a big corporation. So I followed
that's
rules.
typical. Yeah, for sure. Well,
I was like, whatever I got to do to
why mess it up? Out there. If they're going to, once it goes, and they're going to let you
go to
blast
town.
it everywhere, why not?
Yeah.
What do you care? And it's not going to really, you could use the hype, I guess.
Yeah.
Or they get to utilize you to hype it.
Right.
But, so hey, it's been beneficial?
Very beneficial.
Good for you.
And it was also really fun. And it's crazy. It's like,
was it natural?
For me, it was.
But was it was it set up or were they just follow you around?
Very little. They told us very little to do.
Okay. Other than say cheap.
Cheap.
Okay.
Like I would say something, they'll be like, when the producers are there, like during because there's the like house tours, then there's like the interview. And my interview day was hours of me sitting there and them asking me every question known to man. And, I would say something that she's like, oh my God, I love that. Can you, just say that answer again, but just add this word in there? They never were like, you need to say this or you need to do this. I felt like it was very authentic to who I am. And also, they recorded basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know this. So, there's all this, stuff that we didn't know was on camera, like my client picking something out of my teeth. I was powdering my face because it was 100 degrees when we were filming.
Yeah.
End of July. We're sweating balls.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there trying to look cute.
What do you mean? How do you, were the...
all these crazy outtakes.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Appearance.
Yeah, totally. Over here powder. And all of that stuff.
What do you mean? Do they have hidden cameras or do you
No, they were just always filming. So even when we were not in interview.
Right.
They would be filming, and they put all those behind the scenes of us being real. They spliced it into the show.
You're over there biting a sandwich, and they got the whole thing.
Literally, I'm there talking about how my body's going through caffeine withdrawals, and I'm a hot mess. So, they put it all in there. So it's we didn't see it until it premiered, so we had no idea. And then the house tours, they just let me go. They're like, go do this room. And they're like, just talk until we tell you to do something else. They truly gave us a ton of freedom. So and that was my first reality show. There was none of be this or do this. I really think they cast people for who they are and they just let you go.
Yeah. Well, the question comes from exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy who's produced some of the original ones that, long story, great guy, but, they'll push people, and that's more the drama ones,
I think the Real Housewives, all those series, I think they just want to get those ladies wasted and fighting.
Yeah.
This is more about,
sells.
It's funny. All those people, they're wasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing is get them drunk and get them fighting because that drama sells.
So you stayed sober through the show?
Yeah, I don't drink.
Okay. All right.
So
well, there you go.
Yeah. I
go on, Trump.
I know, right? Yeah. me and Trump with our Diet Coke.
You eat McDonald's too?
Love Diet Coke.
Do you?
I love McDonald's. But it's I can't eat that because I don't want to be 800 pounds.
Yep.
I could literally be on my 600-pound life. I love food so much. If I wasn't vain, I would literally... you look great.
Yeah, well, I eat and drink a lot.
But you got it's all about balance. No, I could literally eat a Big Mac and fries every day. It's so...
Kindred spirit up there in
Anybody
Washington.
who says fast food isn't delicious, they're lying.
Oh, yeah.
They are lying
for you, but they're absolutely lying.
Tastes
Quarter
good.
pounder with cheese,
So
love
good.
it, but it just makes me feel bad.
Good. So good.
So
no, I don't drink.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying, I stopped drinking 9 years ago.
Okay.
I didn't run over a kid or do anything horrific, but I just got to the, bless their hearts, you know what I mean? But I just got to the point where I was I'm drinking all the time.
Yeah.
And I was let me take a break. And for me, I would either I wouldn't have a cocktail. I'll be blackout drunk making out with everybody. I don't care who it was.
Yeah.
I'd probably be making out with both of y'all right now if we were at a bar. You know what I mean? And you'd think it was so charming. You'd just go along with it too. Oh, he's so sweet and cute. And so I just got to a point where I was like,
not sure I've gotten that blackout drunk.
I was like, let's take a month off. And then a month turned into a year, and now it's been almost 9 years. I'm just better without it.
Real estate didn't bring you back into it?
No.
Good.
But I will tell you, realtors are a bunch of drunks.
Yeah.
I mean, so much drinking.
You said that being one, not George.
So much partying. And for me, I like realtors and I try to be kind to them, but I'm not going to hang out with a bunch of realtors all the time. Do you think they're going to buy a house from me? No?
No, of course not. But you have a good relationship, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a human nature to all businesses. And I think real estate, what I do, what you do, there's a personal level to it.
Yes.
And you're always, I definitely think if I'm a realtor and I know you and I don't know her and you have two houses, I'm going to gravitate to you that are very similar.
100%.
And there's that personal relationship of exchange of business.
Yes.
Do you have to get busted up all the time to do it? No, of course not. So going back to the show, I'm curious. Did your clients come back to you and were they happy?
Oh my God. Well, and so I did
did he buy the condo?
He did buy the condo.
Okay, so he closed on the condo.
And we've actually become very good friends. We even got matching tattoos.
Okay.
And we call each other sister.
Does it say HGTV?
It's a little. I mean, it was it was a week of filming. And so they had to fly
Same
back
couple?
in. Same couple.
Suck with the whole time?
And so it was just me and those two clients, and we toured multiple properties. So it was focused on the three of us, and they were here for a week filming. So I really liked them before, but then, when you share that, you just become very close. We were together all week, all day long.
Okay.
And we just had so much fun together. They didn't expect to have that experience. I didn't. So it kind of bonded us. And then we had the premiere party and they came in for the party. So we
did a premiere party here?
We did.
Okay, nice.
So just showed the show and Muse was there and everything. And they came in for the party and we got to watch it together.
Fun.
So
they were happy?
They were very happy.
Did y'all literally watch it for the first time together?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't get to see it before it premieres.
Okay.
So we're and my family was literally sitting there okay, here we go. I hope it's good. And it was good. It was.
Did you get in trouble for cussing?
On the show?
Yeah.
No, I'm not really. I'm actually not a cusser.
Okay.
You know what I mean? On occasion, I'll say shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't drop the F-bomb.
Well, you asked about when we started.
I'm just being funny.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not.
Almost every one of my episodes has a little E on it, and Abby reminds me.
I don't think I even cussed.
It's me. It's not you.
Oh, you haven't cussed?
Well, I've been good today.
Yeah.
I've been respectful.
I'm bringing out the best in you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I would say I would say my sort of cussing is sexual innuendo.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make an innuendo out of everything.
Okay.
But just innocent enough to get people excited. I'm sorry. I don't care who it is.
Just naughty enough without the cussing.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
It's hotter that way,
So, what's the name of the show again?
Cheap Ass Beach Houses.
Okay.
And HGTV. My episode is called Yacht Curious.
Where did that come from?
It was something I said in the middle of the show and it stuck.
Okay.
Because they were trying to decide between a condo in Bay Point and a condo, on Thomas Drive.
Okay.
So that was the whole thing. And I was like, oh, well, if you're in Bay Point, because they have all those boat slips, I was like, you can have your yacht here. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, maybe a yacht. And I was like, maybe are you yacht curious? And it just sort of somehow, so now the whole episode's called Yacht Curious. Okay. I think everybody's a little bit curious.
And they bought a condo.
Okay.
Love it. All right. So what does the future hold for Brian?
Gosh, I don't know. A lot of people, and this has never been my MO, they're like, oh my God, what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, I don't really know what my 5-hour plan is. I'm truly.
We got to get on a plane today.
I know I've got to get on a plane today. I might get stuck in New York, Lord help. But for me, I'm always focused on the immediate. So yes, of course I have goals and I get excited, but I'm never one of those people. It's what does the next 5 years look like? I'm more about grabbing opportunities in the immediate. I love real estate. I've fallen in love with it. It is something I never envisioned for my life. And I think the fact that I'm able to combine my entire past of creating theatrical experiences and put that into this new pathway. I think now that there's this opportunity that allows me to do it in an arts medium on film and TV, it just feels like this like perfect convergence of everything I've done.
Awesome.
So I'm excited. I mean, and here's what I always say with I think life is in chapters, right? I think the second you're miserable, you need to change.
Mm-hmm.
I think look, day to day, there's stuff that you do where you're like, oh my gosh, I hate this. But I think if at your core, you're unhappy, it probably means you need a relationship change, a career change. I just feel like life is so precious. It's so fleeting. Every day is truly a gift. So I'm like, never let yourself get completely unhappy. If I find I'm unhappy for a prolonged time in real estate, I'm like out, you know? But for right now, I'm loving it. It's so much fun.
You got to love what you do.
You have to.
Yeah.
We spend the majority of our life working.
Yeah.
And
you got to love the people you work with, just like you love the people at home.
100%.
If not, you will be miserable.
You'll be miserable.
Well, you have an amazing outlook on life. I will say that your energy's awesome. So I can see how people gravitate to you. Now I have to go watch your episode.
You've got to see my episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I told you I didn't prep for these things. It's just come talk to you.
You're going to have so much homework to do now.
Exactly. You see the 2 sentences I wrote?
Well, so your homework is watch my episode and then send me a lookbook of your cars.
Okay, got it.
For my new...
you got it, Coach.
That's your homework. Do I have any homework?
No. We'll just do this again.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dead serious. Love the energy.
Fun.
Where can people find you?
So socials, my name, Brian Clowdus, BrianClowdus. That's my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, everything. And then my website is brianclowdus.com as well.
Amazing. Congratulations. You've had some pretty significant and rapid growth.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing what you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
I want to have you back.
Let's do it.
Sooner than later. All right. Travel safe, Brian.
Thank
See
you.
See you, buddy.